I'd just like to take this time to say how excited and how pumped I am to be a part of the Orioles organization. I know that I'm still just high on life right now with this opportunity, and whenever baseball starts back up, I can't wait to get it going.
Great. Thanks, Jordan. We'll start with the first question from Rock Kabako, MASNsports.com, followed by John Mioli. Rock?
Hey, Jordan, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
What would you say are some of the things in your skill set that you feel like are going to get you to the majors and keep you there?
I believe I think probably the best part of my game is my athleticism, and the athleticism allows me to be versatile on the field. I think it allows me to play an explosive type of baseball, and I think that explosive ability is what's going to get me to the big leagues.
Next, John Mioli, Baltimore Sun, followed by Dan Connolly. John?
How's it going, man? First of all, congrats. I was wondering how you found your interactions with the Orioles different from other teams as this draft process was going along, and how that makes you feel about now being part of the organization.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. The Orioles were one of the last teams I heard from. I think I heard from them that Friday before the week of that draft, and it was over Zoom call, which is kind of what every team was doing. But to have them be the last team that I talked to, and then to have the opportunity to be drafted by them, just made it special. It made it feel like they were thinking of me, that whole entire week leading up to the draft.
Next up, Dan Connolly, The Athletic, followed by Joe Trezza. Dan?
Congratulations, Jordan. We've heard about your athleticism. You've talked about that and about your bat. Defensively going forward, where do you see yourself? Obviously, shortstop, third base, maybe somewhere else. Where can you use that athleticism? Where do you see yourself as a defensive player?
Yeah, well, I think first of myself as a shortstop, I want to stick at that position for as long as possible, but I understand that the game is evolving and the game is changing, and because of my athleticism, I feel like I could play anywhere on the diamond. I've played some time at third. I've spent a lot of time at second as well in my career, and I just really feel like wherever the team and the organization thinks I'm best fit at, I'm going to attack that and play to the best of my abilities there.
Joe Trezza, MLB.com, followed by Rich Dubroff. Joe?
Hey, Jordan. What's it like joining an organization with so much opportunity? This is a team that's in a pretty deep rebuild, and the system is pretty light on middle infield prospects. It seems like there is a chance for you to really make a mark in the system. What is that like?
It's super exciting. It makes you feel like you've got a chance to be part of something special. I know that Heston was drafted before me, and then Adley last year. Just being able to have my name up with those two guys and have the ability to or chance to kind of rise to this organization and try to make an impact is something special.
Next, Rich Dubroff, BaltimoreBaseball.com, followed by Steve Molesky. Rich?
Hey, Jordan, you just mentioned Heston. You played against him. Can you give us a scouting report on him? What he does best?
Yeah, don't throw him anything in the zone. The dude can really hit. I got a special opportunity to kind of hang out with him also when we were at the Team USA trials. And he's a special dude, great kid, great teammate. He's going to be a great friend. And he can really hit. He can play defense. I think there was a reason why he was drafted number 2, and I could go all day just saying great things about him, and I think he's just going to back that up with his play and the way he carries himself on and off the field.
Next, Steve Molesky, MASNsports.com, followed by Nathan Ruiz. Steve?
Hey, Jordan, what did your strong play in the Cape Cod League last summer mean to you, your game, your confidence, everything?
It meant the world. I really think that's kind of what propelled me to be in the position that I am today, was my summer in the Cape. It definitely boosted my confidence. It definitely made me realize that I have plenty of ability and talent to kind of take on from here on out. And yeah, it just meant the world. And I was really excited that I had that opportunity, and I was really happy and felt blessed that I could perform on a high level when I was up there.
Next up, Nathan Ruiz, Baltimore Sun, followed by David with the San Antonio Express News. Nathan?
Hey, Jordan, congrats. Going off that question about the Cape Cod League, you showed a little more power there than you had in your first couple of years at Mississippi State. What do you think allowed that to happen, and do you think we would have seen that translate had you had a whole spring to show it off?
No doubt. I think it was just a matter of cleaning up my swing a little bit, staying a little bit more short to the ball and more compact. I think that if we would have had the chance to play out the full spring, I think my power would have definitely shown up more than it had my first 2 years in college. And I was excited to try to showcase that. It's just a shame that we got cut short.
Next, David with the San Antonio Express News, followed by Rob Long. David?
Congratulations. I wanted to ask you about you and Ace getting selected on the first day. How significant is that for the San Antonio area baseball scene? And when you couple that with Forrest Whitley, Josh Young, Hudson Head, how big is that for this kind of generation of San Antonio area players?
I think it's huge. I think it shows a lot of the kids that are playing in this area that, there's a lot of opportunity to grow in the game of baseball and to have a future career. I know that I was in San Antonio just a few weeks ago, and I got to see Josh for the first time in a year, at a batting cage. And I know Forrest Whitley was up there a couple days after I was there throwing a bullpen. So just being in this area, you're going to see a lot of us as professionals, and I think that's just, it kind of gives hope to any kids that are coming up and hoping that they can make a career out of the baseball thing.
Next up, Rob Long, 105.7 The Fan, followed by David Murray. Rob?
I'll say it again, congratulations to you. I know it's a great honor to be drafted. And I want to piggyback off a question from earlier about the power numbers. Your freshman year with 2 home runs, 11 doubles. Last year, your sophomore year, 6 home runs, 21 doubles. And it looked like your power numbers were increasing. Do you think you can add to those power numbers as you get ready, prepare for the bigs, or is this pretty much how would you label your game?
I think there's room for improvement. I think my hit tool needs to be a little bit more consistent, and I think that when it does find that consistency and I start to improve upon that and grow in that area, the power numbers are going to show up. I had a lot of double power last year as a sophomore, and I had my times where I was hot and I was hitting balls out of the yard. And I think this spring I was like I said before, I had really improved on being able to hit the ball in the air a little bit more and let that power play. So I think just overall and improving my hit tool and just growing as a player is only going to help me from there.
Next up, David Murray, Jeans Page 247, followed by Ben Portnoy. David?
Congratulations, Jordan, on being the highest drafted shortstop ever from Mississippi State. You mentioned having the season cut short. What's it like watching the draft and yet knowing after 2 years there you should be in Omaha right now?
It's a bummer. I would be lying if I said it wasn't a disappointment, but at the same time, this is just the next step. I know that me and Foskey were both super excited to hear our names called last night, and after exchanging words, and I'm sure I'm going to get a call from him later today. It's a shame that we couldn't see that season play out and see what would have happened. I'm sure it would have been special, but at the same time, this has been our dream since we were little kids. So it's been awesome to experience this, and I can't wait for the next step.
Next up, Evan Grant, Dallas Morning News. Evan?
Hey, Jordan. Quick question. I wanted to just kind of get a sense from you. I've been told that you and your roommate, Justin, were obviously big hitting rats, that you bug Coach Cheeseborough late at night to go up to the cages. But I've also been told that you guys have very different personalities. And wanted to get a sense from you of how you would describe Justin's personality and what drives him.
Yeah, Justin's a very intense person, and I know that my freshman year, it was very intimidating to see somebody on the field as intense as him. We both are huge on our work ethic. I think we were 2 of the hardest working players in that program, and I think he's a very motivated person. I think that's why he's so good. I only have good things to say about him. He was my roommate. He's my best friend. I'm a little bit more – I try to keep it a little bit more light on and off the field. But Justin, he's going to work his tail off. He's going to be intense. He's going to be that quiet leader on the field, and he's just going to get after it every single day.
Next up, Joel Coleman, Cowbell Corner, followed by Ben Portnoy. Joel?
Hey, Jordan. I guess I would just ask you, how would you describe the college experience in Mississippi State, and how does it prepare guys like you and like Justin and long track records, of pro players? How does Mississippi State prepare a guy like you all for this next step?
I think being able to play in possibly the best conference in college baseball is only going to help you. I know that out of high school, there was a reason why I wasn't drafted. I just wasn't ready for that step. And even getting to college, I wasn't the level of ball player that I am today. And having the experience there at Mississippi State meant the world to me because I improved. I felt like every single day I was there. I felt like it just gives young players the opportunity to improve, to learn about themselves, to mature, and then 2-3 years later have an opportunity to take that next step and play professional baseball.
A reminder to everybody, if you have a question, please enter your name and affiliation in the chat box. Wait to be called on. We'll go now to Ben Portnoy, Commercial Dispatch.
Hey, Wesley. Sorry about that. Just off the bat, I know you talked about it a little bit, but in terms of that sort of slump that you went through toward the tail end of last year, what'd you kind of learn from that, and what'd you carry that into the summer in the Cape and then with Team USA? And then kind of off that, obviously you played with Coach Polk in the Cape and all that. What was that experience kind of like for you, and what'd you kind of learn from him?
Yeah, the struggles just matured me as a baseball player. I think being able to go through that long period of failing constantly, it humbles you a little bit. It makes you realize that baseball is a game of failure, and it's something that you're going to have to deal with your whole career. And I think that being able to work through that and go up to the Cape and use it as motivation and learn from my failures and improve upon them just made me a better baseball player. It made me a more mature player and more mature person off the field as well. And getting to have that experience with Coach Polk up there in Hyannis is something I'll never forget. I still talk with Coach Polk on the regular, and he helped me not only hitting wise up there in the Cape, but defensively. Him hitting ground balls to me and being the little infield guru that he always has been in his coaching career really helped me, and I think I learned a lot when I was up there.
Next up, Andrew Gillis, NBC Sports Washington. Andrew?
Hey, Jordan. Congratulations. I'm curious what your last few months have been like, and then if you've been told anything from the Orioles as to what the next few months could look like. Is just kind of everything's kind of in flux right now.
Yeah, no, I haven't been told anything yet. I'm just trying to take it day by day. My last few months have been kind of crazy, just like everybody else's have been. I've moved back home here to New Braunfels, Texas, and I've just been I'm blessed enough to have a cage in my backyard, and we have a shed out back that has enough weight room equipment for me to be able to work out and stay in shape. I've been able to throw with a few teammates of mine, and I've been able to do everything that I need to do to stay in baseball shape. And I know that just trying to stay healthy is the biggest thing for me, and getting ready to take the next step whenever that may be is what I'm looking forward to.